Sebastian with Stratton here. Thank you for tuning in. I'm super excited to bring you guys another awesome video about 2022 market shift and my prediction on what to expect moving forward, what will happen later this year. So what do we know right now? What do we know for sure? What's going on? Let's put everything in perspective. We know that the economy has overheated. Hyperinflation can happen or may happen. And we know that we are at a solid right now 5% interest rate. The government has to continue raising rates. And it's simply because inflation has gone up, and they say that we're at a 7%. We know that it's rising, and they say that there's another wave of inflation coming. So we know for a fact that the market has so overheated. And we also see mortgage companies have already begun to lay off employees. We see JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon saying that there are rough times ahead. We see the president of the US saying that there might be food shortages. It seems that there's rough seas on the horizon. The beauty of it is that there is a case example. We can look back at history to the 1970s. There was a period in 1970 to 1982 where interest rates were super high and inflation was hyperinflation. While there are several differences, like the US being a net exporter of energy nowadays and our manufacturing base being much different, not as much as before in the 1970s, meaning our labor costs are much lower, we can still use these 1970, 1982 example and case to reflect and plan ahead. What should we know and keep in mind right now, and understand that there's a balance between asset prices and interest rates. You know, they counterbalance each other. So as interest rates rise, asset prices go down. That's important for a seller to know. But however, for a buyer, it's important to remain liquid, to remain cash heavy, because when the right opportunity comes along, and there will be opportunities, then you're ready, and you're ready to pay the down payment, the cash to close required in a different environment. But it's important to be able to identify an opportunity and take advantage of the opportunity when it comes along. Just keep in mind, successful buyers don't give up. They stick to the market until they find the right opportunity. And it's also good to keep in mind that, like the old saying goes, be fearful when others are greedy and be greedy when others are fearful. I feel that that's super applicable right now. So where are we headed from here? What is my prediction moving forward is that the market is going to cool down. We know that inflation is going to rise, and we know that interest rates are going to rise. So it's important for us to monitor and keep our eyes open for inflation rates and interest rates. In 1982, like I said, they went up to 17% interest rates. This is going to bring opportunities, and therefore we need to remain lean and we need to remain liquid, because opportunities will come and these will be the best assets moving forward. So whoever has the freedom to move with liquidity will capitalize the best. Also, it is very important to keep our eyes open for what the government does, because if interest rates rise so high and we're in the middle of a depression, of a recession, of a stagflation, it's important to notice and see if the government will have the fortitude to keep interest rates as high so that inflation goes back down. Thank you guys for tuning in. That's what I have for you today. That is my prediction moving forward. There will be better times. We will be fine. It's always important to be prepared, and you'll always be ready. Follow us. Keep watching us. I appreciate your support, and I'll see you on the next one.